What's going on, guys? We are back yet again, and we are finally going to be talking about the latest episode of Dragon Ball Daima. Now, in this one, this is going to be episode 10. It was an interesting episode. Was it anything really to write home about? No, but we actually got to learn a little bit more lore, which is what I know myself and some people do want, some people don't want. But either way, we go into about two, three different things of what's going on into this episode. So I'm gonna try to break it up and kind of sum it down into two things. So Goku, Gloria, Pansy, Supreme Kai, they are going one way into the second demon realm. And when they get to Warp Sama, they basically state that they're trying to go to the second one. And then Supreme Kai's like, well, shouldn't we just go to number one? And Goku says no, because of the way they got to get the Dragon Balls for whatever reason. Now, they do go into the second one, and then they start seeing of how beautiful the second world is. But of course, Supreme Kai does warn that there is some type of kraken creature that is down below, and if you don't pay attention, then it can swallow you whole, and they are very big and they're very strong. Then they get attacked by more of the guards from the royal palace because Goma knows they're there, so he orders them to attack them. They do mess up the plane, and it's like, oh god, we're going to lose another plane. And then Goku jumps out of the back of the door to attack the rest of these guards while they're flying, and he eliminates them pretty quickly. But then as soon as he gets back onto the plane, this Kraken attacks him and it does destroy the plane. And it's like, okay, here we go again. And Pansy goes back into the plane when it's getting crushed by this Kraken creature. And they go in there, and turns out she was trying to save the Dragon Ball because they didn't get it in time. And so they start flying onto a nearby planet, which turns out to be the original planet for the Namekians when they were in here in the demon realm. And then we go into where Vegeta and Bulma and Hypus as well as Piccolo, they're getting closer to the second world. And then when they finally are talking about it, you see where Bulma's blushing over herself because she's younger, she looks good, and she doesn't want to be older again. Vegeta does because he doesn't want to be a kid. And of course, Hype is trying to say, "Oh, well, maybe you could be my girlfriend." Vegeta's like, "No, that's my wife." And he's like saying, "Well, I don't mind." And he says, "Well, either way, we're gonna be getting older." And then that's when Bulma and him have a small argument of like, "Well, maybe you should ask the dragon to make you older." He's like, "No, we both are." And of course, Hypus goes, "Oh, so you like big boobs? That's the reason why." And of course, it just comes into an argument. And then Goku finds them, and he even states that if you need to hurt, like he's trying to warn them about this because he leaves the rest of the group to find them because he can sense them. And again, he tells Pansy and Glorio, Supreme Kai does, that of course Goku can sense their ki. Again, they're still learning this, but when they open up the door, Goku tells Piccolo and the rest of the gang, "Hey, this is what's going on because of these monsters." And Vegeta's like, "Oh, it can't be that bad." And then he sees them. He's like, "Dang, that's big." So they almost get eaten. Hypus doesn't know about this world, so they finally do land on this planet that is of the Namekians. And even Bulma asks Piccolo, how you know about this? He said no, and he tells them this twice, that this was before King Piccolo, that he has really no memories of this, but it's very familiar, it's very pleasant. And then of course they go into more about finding out about the other one's names, about where they're from. And Bulma asks the Supreme Kai because he finds out that he's from this world and what his story is. And we see a lot of stuff that is connected to Dragon Ball Super, because apparently what happened was there was another demon king before Deborah's father that wanted to expand the demon realm, and he went to someone that creates the worlds, and they started creating the worlds, and the Glens and everyone else started going over there to help take care of the worlds. And the reason why that the Glens left the demon realm is because they were fighting against Deborah's father, who had closed down Warp Sama because he did not want potential outside threats to come in from the demon realm. And he was, I guess, a very ruthless ruler, and that's when they started fighting him, and they left the demon realm. So that was actually very interesting. And then as soon as everything gets kind of caught up, Bulma does ask Supreme Kai, "Well, do you want to go to the your planet?" He says no, because there's really nothing there, because everything is either dried up or destroyed. Same thing with on this version of the planet of the Namekians in the demon realm. And they're about ready to leave, but then Hypus is like, okay, I'll take over as pilot. And Bulma suggests that Glorio does because, again, Hypus has never been to this part of the demon realm. Now, right when they're about ready to leave, the episode ends with that other older Namekian coming and walking up and just kind of laughing. So I'm kind of wondering if he's going to do something to stop them or say, oh, hi before they leave or something to where he's going to get the attention of everyone because Vegeta's in a hurry to get the rest of the Dragon Balls, so is everybody else. But here's another part of the episode that was actually rather interesting and kind of silly, stupid, and funny at the same time. We see where Dr. Rinsu takes Majin Ku to battle against Tamagami 1. Now, they do have a fight, and the way Majin Ku fights is very silly, very crazy, sort of like Majin Buu a little bit, but not too much. I don't know how powerful this one is compared to, I would say, Goku Vegeta. I don't know because, again, comparing power levels is just gets really crazy and really annoying. So he does try to go up against Tamagami 1, but it doesn't go very well, and he pretty much gets his ass handed to him. He pretty much does get his ass handed to him. And he even tells him at the very end, like, okay, I'll lose, and Dr. Reese is like, huh? And then he leaves. He's like, well, that guy's pretty strong, but he's stronger than me, but I'm actually pretty strong. Like, I'm a good singer, I'm a good this, and he says I'm good at doing errands and stuff like that. And she's looking at him like, are you serious? So it almost makes me wonder, is he going to be some kind of servant for her or some kind of like errand boy or whatever? Like, is he as strong as supposedly he says he is, or is he going to be like on the level of another character? So I really don't know. I would say he's not as powerful as the original Majin Buu. I don't think he's nowhere near close as powerful as the original Majin Buu. I think that, again, his power level was heavily diluted due to the Cybermen. That, again, is just a thought. I could be heavily wrong. But that fight was actually kind of interesting a little bit. But again, this episode was really not nothing home to write about. Again, it was an okay episode. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed seeing a little bit more fighting from Goku taking out the guards, and then of course trying to take on the Kraken a little bit, and then also of course seeing Majin Ku battle the first Tamagami because again wasn't exactly sure how this was going to go, if he was going to wipe the floor with him or Majin Ku was just going to get his ass beat, which he kind of did. So again, overall decent episode. Probably not the best episode, but still a very decent episode. We're finding out more stuff, more connections to the to Super. We got to see all the other Supreme Kais from the other multiverses, which is really cool to see. We also got to see a possible older Zeno, maybe. It really looked like a version of Zeno, but it kind of makes me wonder, how do they not know already about this, from Dragon Ball Super? So it's like, it makes you wonder, again, for canon wise, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, how do they not know, with Super and all that stuff? It's like, maybe did they get their minds erased? Did they forget this? I don't know. But again, to us, the viewers, it's going to make a little bit more sense. But again, to the characters, not yet. But overall, guys, what did you guys think of this episode? Was it good? Was it bad? What was your overall thoughts? Let me know your thoughts about it. And I'll see you as always on the next one.